Many people say that they want to write a book, yet 9 out of every 10 people who start writing a book never finish it, leaving one of their biggest dreams unfulfilled. So, what is it about the 1 in 10 people who do finish writing their book? What do they have, and what drives them to complete their books, their plays, and their songs? Welcome to the Editor's Desk, where we explore their writing experiences, their motivations, and their struggles. And now, here are your hosts, author, writing coach, and self-publishing guide, Lynn Everard, and author, Louise Gomez. It's Thursday at 5:30 p.m. here in South Florida, and you are watching the Editor's Desk. My name is Lynn Everard.
Hi everybody, welcome to the show. My name is Louise Gomez.
We are in the thick of things now in terms of the holidays.
Yeah, what's the countdown? I think I was just asking you. What is it, like 3 days or something?
It's we're in the middle of Hanukkah. We're almost at Christmas. The New Year's upon us.
Cannot believe it.
And you know,
so fast.
One of the things that we remember about holidays is, well, 2 things. One is we remember music, but the other one is we remember how grateful we are for things. And so we want to take a moment and express our gratitude to you, our audience, for sticking with us for almost 5 months now.
Wow.
Yes, can you believe it?
Yes, that is amazing.
And because we could do this show, but without you, we wouldn't have a show.
Absolutely.
So we are so appreciative of your support. We have amazing things coming in the new year. We've had amazing things this year, and that's going to continue. So make sure you tell your friends to join you in watching us. And the second thing about the holidays is music.
I know. I'm just so grateful that we're able to share all these amazing guests and talented guests that we have, right?
Absolutely.
It's so, I get so lightened up. I mean, I just get so happy knowing that we can share all these amazing, talented people, right? Because you know I can't sing.
Well, I can't either. So it's wonderful to be able to share with the world people who can, and that brings us to our guest today.
Oh my word.
J.D. Danner. And J.D. I saw when we were both guests on the Brooklyn Cafe show.
Right.
And I exchanged cards with her because it's somewhere in my mind I said, somehow we have to get you on our show.
Okay, that was smart. Thanks for that.
And so here we are.
So JD is from Nashville's legendary Bluebird Cafe to Lucas Oil Stadium for an NFL halftime show. Singer-songwriter J.D. Danner has been captivating audiences nationally and globally. For the past 2 decades, J.D. has toured performing at U.S. military bases, both in the U.S. and overseas. She also tours nationally in support of pride festivals and LGBTQ events. With more than 50,000 hits on YouTube, J.D. has been dubbed Joan Jett meets Johnny Cash. In October 2020, J.D.'s version of Janis Ian's song titled Better Times Will Come was chosen to be on Janis's website. Most recently, J.D. is receiving much accolade for her single released titled Nothing But Faith, which she has been inspired to write during the pandemic quarantine. So thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
You know, I said to her, I could see the Joan Jett, like, when I read your bio, I was like, oh my God, I can totally see that. But I can't wait to hear you perform so we can share your talent with the world.
Thank you. I do appreciate that compliment. I'm glad you picked the Joan Jett, not the Johnny Cash part for the look. Although I do have the black coat.
I don't know much about Johnny Cash, but I do know Joan Jett. That was my era growing up. I love Joan Jett. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was just having some of this delicious Brooklyn Cafe coffee.
Ooh.
Wow. Freddie, you made it just right for me. Thank you.
I'm sure.
So This has been a month of singer-songwriters for us on the show,
Yep.
JD. And one of the things that fascinates me, and Louise can vouch for this, is how you go about coming up with the ideas for your songs. Some people hear the music first, some people hear the words first, some it's a combination, some it's they hear somebody else playing the music and then they start putting the words in. So tell us about your writings, your songwriting style. How does it all come to you?
Generally, the words, the lyrics and the music come to me at the same time. That
Oh.
usually always happens that way, unless someone gives me music. Every once in a while, someone will give me music without a melody even
Okay.
sometimes, and just say, write a melody and lyrics to this. So, but usually when I'm writing alone, if I'm co-writing, it could be my co-writer comes up with the music. I'm generally the lyrics, but and for as far as the topic, it's not always my personal experience. Sometimes it's an observation
Oh,
of someone else's experience.
Right.
So it's just, it depends on the situation. Like with Nothing But Faith, that was my observation of living, and also experience of living through that quarantine period, where taking walks on the beach or just driving through
Yep.
town, seeing signs of beaches and cities, and beaches and businesses and schools being closed, and the quietness in the streets at night when I live where there's a lot of people. I look outside my window in my apartment and see people just walking up and down A1A,
Right.
just a lot of people.
Right.
And even though we were social distancing, I think,
Right.
and so we could go outside, that part wasn't closed to take walks, you would think there were a lot of people out there. People just went away, so it was really super quiet and scary. So that's where I got that idea to write that song.
Are you singing that song today for us?
I will
Oh,
sing
good.
that today.
Oh,
Yes.
good. I'm excited to hear that. How long have you been doing this, if you don't mind? Is it like years that you've always been singing and writing, or when did that start?
I think I started when I was a child loving music. Typically, like a lot of musicians, I come from a musical family.
Okay.
But not all of the people in my family had the desire to be in the spotlight. I'm one of the few, actually. They were just happy playing in their living room
Oh,
and
okay.
hate the spotlight. But so I started, as a kid, and then I always say this. I actually just did a show at the Arts Garage about my
Oh,
life
nice.
story, and I don't have the typical story where I had like a stage mom and I started loving music at 5 to play music, and then did it, through high school.
Right.
I actually come from a musical family that never believed music was a career. They
Wow.
really steered me away from that. It was like you go to college and or get married, typically, conservative, Catholic, Italian family, you either
Right.
have a career, or you get married and have kids.
Right.
And so that's what I did. I got married very young. I never really looked at music as a career. And then when I was in my early 20s, I had some infertility challenges with severe endometriosis. And when I was told at 28 that children weren't not possible,
Sorry.
I needed to feel good again. And I needed to get out of corporate America. I was an accountant, and just play music. I went back to the thing that made me happy. And so that was what led me back to music. But I started writing at about 30 and having a band and playing professionally. So I didn't start like the normal,
Right.
person that you hear that they're doing this in the earlier part of their life. And then, of course I thought I was old at 30, but now I realize I wish I knew
right.
how
No
young
way.
that was when I was 30.
Right.
I thought I was way too old to start. But actually, as the music business goes, it is kind of older to start if you're looking to be a rock star, because people, start now doing it at 13. So, the professional part of it. So anyway, yeah, so I think I'm happy. In my songwriting couldn't be what it is if I started writing at
Right.
the younger age when I started really loving music, because I don't think I would have had the experience to write what I.
Sure.
Although there's a lot of young people that write now that you can't believe where they get that inspiration from. And even Janice Ian, some of the stuff she wrote in her early career, I'm a big fan of hers. And
Okay.
you know, but I didn't. I don't think I would have had that insight personally.
You know, what's interesting, Lynn, she mentioned something about her family telling her it's got to be either career or music. It's so interesting because we had several guests who talked about beliefs, right? And we end up kind of believing or listening to their beliefs, and we're molded into that. So it takes a certain level of, I guess, you know, inner questioning and knowingness and saying, wait a minute, I don't have to, just because family does that doesn't mean I have to do that, right? Which
Right,
is kind of
right.
what you did. You listened to your inner voice of wisdom and you left the accounting and did what you wanted to do.
Eventually, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I do wish I had probably not followed the advice of not starting younger, but
Sure.
you know, I've seen the business and I know what it does to people, and I don't know that I was probably made up of the stuff it takes when I was younger. So I think it was probably for me better
Right.
I started later. But you have this sense of chasing yourself then, because I always had this sense of being behind the 8 ball, like I started too late. Where
Yeah.
am I going?
That's just a
but-
belief, though.
Yeah, but that is another belief. You're
Right. It's just a
You're
belief
right.
that we have these beliefs, like, you know, you're supposed to be married at this age, kids at this age, career at this age. It's like, who gave us these timelines, right?
You are absolutely right.
You
Yes.
know, it's-
You know, you find that out as you get older, I
Yes.
guess, you know.
Absolutely.
You know, there was something that you said as you were sharing your story that really stood out to me, and that was that you had the courage to do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Because most
true.
of us are trying, well, I don't know if I say most of us, but many of us are trying to live a life that was put in front of us by other people, and then trying to pretend we're happy in that life, right? Which we're not, because that's not who we are. But what you did was you said, what's going to make me happy? This is going to make me happy. And then you pursued that. And so it's so important to be able to do that. And, you know, every generation, there's something going on in the world where you can come up with a reason to not pursue your own happiness, right?
Sure.
There's
Yeah.
always going to
Yeah.
be a belief or a story or something that keeps you from doing that. And
Yeah.
so that's a really powerful statement, to be able to, you know, pursue your happiness, because you know that nobody else can make you happy, so you've got to do it yourself.
Yeah, that's true. And at that point, I needed that to survive, because I had gone through, at the age I was, from the years of 23 to 28, going through that struggle. And I had quite a few surgeries and procedures. And back then, they put you on the floor, the OGBYN floor, so there were people having babies.
Yeah.
And here I am. I never left the hospital with anything but another scar, so
Oh, yeah.
it was difficult. They don't do that anymore now, though. You'll be on a totally different floor. But I was going through that, and plus at that age, my friends, my sister, they were having children by accident.
Yeah.
It was very hard for me,
Sure.
coming from this family where you get married and you have children, or you go to college and become something, and you don't follow the, you know, unstable dream of a music career.
Right.
What was I going to do now? So I just needed to just feel joy again, because I felt like I was out of control with everything else. I couldn't control what my own, and I gained like 40 pounds with everything I was, the
Sure.
medication. So I couldn't control my own body at that point. And so I was fortunate enough, and I want to say this because a lot of people who are independent artists try to make people that are out there doing this think that that's the way they're making their living. And it's very hard to make a normal, if you
Sure.
want health insurance and, you know,
Right.
a car that runs, and you
Sure.
have to have a day job. And and a lot of people in my position try to sound, you'll look at their Facebook pages and their social media, and it just seems like they're just a musician. You know, people in it are like, how are they doing that? How are they making albums, you know, records and
Sure.
traveling? Because most of the
Costs
time when
money.
you tour, you're lucky if you can pay for the hotel, and at this level, you know,
Yes.
you're not making money, and usually it costs money. So I was very fortunate that I was able to leave corporate America and go work for my family business, where I could then
Nice.
make my own hours. So when I needed to tour, I was able to do that.
Nice.
And I was just very fortunate that my dad started something with my ex-husband, who was my husband at the time.
Sure.
And and I still have that business now with my ex-husband. So that's
for
what
you.
allowed me to be
Nice.
able to. So I always had that other part of me feeling, well, you never really were all in. I never lived in a van down by the river and really stayed in Nashville. And, you know, like some people, it's make it or break it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do that at that point in my life because I just was, you know, I wasn't going to do that. And I've seen a lot of people never get that break and stay in the van down by the river. And I didn't want to do that either. So I have to, you know, you have to make peace with that at some point.
Yes.
That this is going to be a passion, and it may, you may never get to that place where you dream of being, because it's just really, really, I don't know what the statistics are, but 1 in a million, you know,
Yeah.
to say that, it's
Yeah.
very difficult to make that, to make it to the big time. And you always hear the story of the person that lived in their van and then they got discovered in a coffee house
Sure.
or something, but it doesn't, it's just too difficult. And I just want to say people shouldn't be ashamed of saying, I play music, I consider myself a career musician, but I have a day job or another career, because
Right.
to live as a regular, normal person.
Sure.
Yeah. JD,
yeah.
we are so
Yeah, I was just
excited to
gonna
hear
say,
you
w-
perform.
let's
So,
get
Thank
you.
you.
would you make your way back to the
Thank you.
back there, and we'll talk for a couple of seconds here,
Yeah.
and you let us know when you're ready.
All righty.
Yeah, that's, you know, it's so true, Lynn. You know, like she was saying, the make it or break it. It's like, who says it always has to be that way, you know? Why can't you do it like the way she did it? Do it on the side, the more, you know, careful way, so you're not, you know, drinking, just having water and biscuits for weeks on end, you know?
Yes.
And not eating,
Yes.
and you know, so many people do that. Who says that's necessary? It's not,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, absolutely. It is nice, though, to hear the true story, right?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of us think we just need to be, you know, it's all or nothing. And some people do that, but it doesn't work out so
That's
well
right.
for them. So,
And the all or nothing isn't for everybody. And
Exactly.
I'm glad that she shared
Yeah.
that point.
This song is called A Better Woman. I was insecure, so self-unassured, so broken up inside. But now I see every possibility. I won't stop till I'm satisfied, 'cause you make me wanna try a little harder, be a little smarter, 'cause you showed me who I am. You make me wanna go a little longer, love a little stronger. You make me wanna be a better woman. I've been used, overpaid my dues, and I had nowhere left to run. And now I see every possibility. better woman. Through the years, through the happiness and tears, you've been right by my side. When I was down, you got my feet back on the ground, and on broken wings you help me fly. Yeah, you make me wanna try a little harder, be a little smarter, 'cause you showed me who I am. You make me wanna go a little longer, love a little stronger. You make me wanna be a better woman, a better woman. You make me wanna be, yeah, a better woman.
Did somebody inspire you for those lyrics? Because that was such a beautiful song.
Thank you. Yes, actually, I was inspired by my producer. I was working with Nashville,
Okay.
Keith Ridenauer. We had the backup singer coming in to sing the harmonies, and she was singing her harmonies the day before I was singing my final
Okay.
vocals.
Oh, okay.
So she comes in, and they were telling me about her. You know, she's been on the road with Kenny Rogers. She sang with him for 6 years. She sings just on about everybody's records in Nashville. And she comes in, and she's not only extremely beyond talented, she's beautiful. So she's in the booth, and I'm thinking, what am I going to do tomorrow? Like, wow. Like, and especially harmony is not my strong point. So I was even more in awe of what this woman was doing. So on the way back to the hotel, he called me and he's like, I know what you're thinking, because he could see I was completely intimidating. I said to my friend, what am I going to do tomorrow? Like, why am I even here? She should just go in and sing all the other parts.
Aw.
And he's like, you are the writer, you're the artist. She's got her talent, you have yours. And so I went back to the hotel and I started like thinking about these lyrics. But I didn't really write this song till years later. It was I kind of wrote the chorus and it just kind of stayed there. And then I kind of built on it. And years later I finished it.
Well, thank you so much. What else do you have for us?
Oh, sure. Let's see, what shall I share? This is actually also inspiring people to reinvent when you have, when you reach the tough spot. The storm, you reinvent and weather that storm. I wake up in the morning with voices in my head. I try to find a reason to get out of my bed. My mind is so distracted by what used to be a dream. The best things in life aren't always what they seem. I'll start a new page, take a new direction, dance in the rain, try some reinvention. With faith I will get through this storm. I'll find my way on my own. I'm almost home. There's a freedom in the feeling. There's nothing left to lose. And my future destinations will be what I will choose. I know life can be tough. I'll be a little tougher. When I see the lightning, I won't fear the thunder. I'll start a new page, take a new direction, dance in the rain, try some reinvention. With faith I will get through this storm. I'll find my way on my own. I'm almost home. Sometimes it was a hunger that kept me alive, but I've made my peace and I have survived. I'm almost home. Life can be tough. I'll be a little tougher when I see the lightning. I won't fear the thunder, 'cause I'll start a new page, take a new direction, dance in the rain, try some reinvention. With faith I will get through this storm. I'm on my way all alone. I'm almost home. I'm almost home. With faith I'll find my way. With faith, oh, I'm not afraid. I'm almost home. I'm almost home.
You've done, I feel that you've taken your pain or whatever you've been through and you turned it into such beautiful music and lyrics. And so it served a purpose.
Thank you. Yes.
It served a purpose, even though in the moment we're like, oh my God, right? But I see the purpose.
Yeah, it's very cathartic to be able to do that. And I do feel very blessed that I had the opportunity to try and to be able to put my message, my pain, my joy into a song and hopefully reach other people that might be experiencing the same, maybe not exactly the same situation, but the
Sure.
same feelings.
Yeah.
Like when you wake up in the morning, you don't want to get out of bed, you know.
Yeah.
In fact, that lyric was originally, I wake up in the morning, I don't want to leave my bed. And the producer I was working with at the time said, can you just make this a little less like morbid, like depressing? Can you just say you
Right.
try to find a reason?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. I think it was, I can't find a reason. And he said, can you please? And I thought, you know what? Let's be a little hopeful, because the song was
Yeah.
about, it was actually, we don't do B-sides anymore because we used to do A and B sides. But when I wrote Shelter from the Shame, which was a song about domestic violence,
Wow.
I wrote that song for an organization at the time, a nonprofit, that asked me to write the song for a fundraiser. I did a second song on the CD. We did it as a single CD, but then I did a second song, which would be the B-side for me, and that was Almost Home, to forge the storm, you know.
Thank you so much for sharing your gifts.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Of course. And how would we, like, what do you have coming up for 2023? Do you have any highlights, or how can we find you? Or please share.
Oh, thank you for asking. My website is jddanner.com.
Okay.
And I have my upcoming shows and music. And actually, right now, for the rest of December, and I'll probably hold it on past New Year's, anything you download from my website is free. You can download any of my music. But my music is also on Spotify,
Nice.
iTunes, Pandora, any of those digital streaming services. But tomorrow night, I'm actually playing at Tim Finnegan's in Delray.
Oh,
So this was
nice.
perfect, the
Oh,
perfect
yes.
timing to be here. I'm
Absolutely.
playing with the band. And sometimes I play a duo with Judy. Judy was on
Okay.
Brooklyn Cafe with
Nice.
me. And I'm going to be playing the Ribs and Wings Festival in Fort Pierce in February. And in January, we're playing a church festival in Delray, St. Vincent's. We have some festivals coming up. I'm supposed to be probably doing Pride Fest in March, I think it is. I'm waiting to get that phone call, but I should be doing Pride Fest in March.
Well, thank you so much for
you.
sharing your gifts with the world.
Thank you for having me. I really
appreciate
appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. And so next week we have my son coming on, singing
Oh.
as well. So he'll be here. I'm excited for that. And thank you for tuning in to the Editor's Desk. Have a
Thank you.
great night.
Imagine rediscovering a past life.
Now imagine finding the person you shared it with.
And I just told all my friends, I'm like, you guys have to read this because I can't put it down. And I have not even gotten to the half of the book yet.
We are Lynn Everard and Louise Gomez, and we are the authors of the book, The Reuniting of Two Past Lives and the Unveiling of the 12 Sacred Lessons.
We invite you to purchase the book and discover the magic. Even if you have never written a book, you are still an author. In fact, we all are. In every moment, each of us is writing our own unique story that we call our lives. Because many of us are, as in the lyrics of the Dan Hill song, Sometimes When We Touch, writers still trapped within our truth. If this is you, why not start writing your thoughts in a journal? It will help you get your truth on paper and could just be the start of your own book. And don't forget to join us here every week for the next edition of The Editor's Desk.